welcome back to another awesome video.
It's Casey Kasem's American Top 40.
Hits from coast to coast.
If you listen to the American Top 40 rebroadcast today, you're going to hear modern commercials. These have some of the original 1980s commercials.
The American woman has a look all her own, out in a crowd or just being alone. A fit that's right, Xena jeans for the American way of life.
But what's even cooler is these are not designed to be sold or used by people at home. They are for radio stations. So the radio station will get these records and they would put them on the air, and so they've got commercials and all sorts of cool stuff we're going to look at. Now, I did get a 1983. This one's from January 29th, 1983. This one's from 87. We're going to talk mostly about this one. This one, you can tell they started a little bit of cost cutting. This just comes in a sleeve. This has this nice box here. So what is American Top 40? American Top 40 was this national countdown show, and it is in the 80s. This countdown is how I learned about new music, music trivia, what the top songs were, and how with little to no money I can make my own mixtapes.
Also, here's a trivia.
What?
Here's a cool fact. Casey Kasem was a voice on a Scooby-Doo
Yes,
show.
yeah. So Casey Kasem, there are a lot of popular DJs, but without a doubt, the most popular one I'm aware of is Casey Kasem. He not only did these weekly countdowns, he was the voice of Shaggy on Scooby-Doo, and he had a very distinctive voice.
American Top 40's heard in the 50 states and around the world every week on great radio stations like WNKO, Newark, Ohio.
If you listen to these records, you'll hear the music, of course, but also lots of great music trivia.
She wants to know what group in the rock era has had the most Top 40 hits without ever hitting number one.
Stories about the performers.
Now, the word coochie is slang for cooked marijuana. And the young members of Musical Youth thought it wouldn't be right for them to sing about that, so they changed coochie to doochie.
And long-distance dedications.
So, Casey, would you please dedicate Somebody's Baby to Sue and to any guy out there who thinks that a gorgeous girl is unreachable?
One thing you should notice right away is they're not like labeled normally. So this says side 1A, right? So
I guess this is where you play first.
Well, look what's on the back, yes. 4B. Why do you think that is? Well, the reason is, so like if you're playing a record at your house, you got side 1 and 2. This is for a DJ with multiple turntables, so he had to have them set up. So you had to have 1A and 1B on separate turntables. So this one would be spinning, and you flip over to this one, and then while this one's playing, you could replace this one with something else. 4B is actually the end of the countdown, and so it's a 4-hour countdown. Basically, it's divided into these different segments, and so you have these commercial breaks as indicated by the commercials. And we'll go through like how that works, but let's put one of these records on the turntable and see what happens. Yeah, hit the button. Okay, so here we go with 2A. That's first part of hour 2 of the countdown, which should begin with number 31, Space Age Love Song. Every side of every record starts with this tone. I guess it's for aligning your speed or your levels. If you know what it is, leave a comment. Then it jumps to the countdown. A little bit of crackle. Need to clean the records. Okay, so here we go.
Now, as we continue our countdown, I'd like to welcome a new radio station.
Welcomes.
Top 40 family. It's KMAJ-FM in Topeka, Kansas. Great to have you with us. My name's Casey Kasem, and we're counting down the week's biggest hits the way they're ranked on Billboard's Pop Singles chart. And on we go.
Number 31.
The first hit by the Liverpool quartet, A Flock of Seagulls, was Iran. It hit number 9 last October.
Not the country, but actually running.
2 notches this week, and
Iran.
it's called Space Age Love Song.
All right, so basically the DJ, like if this countdown takes up 4 hours. Well, yeah, so they, I guess they could just let some intern run this station for half a day. This aired on Sunday locally, but
You think there's shifts?
I mean, I'm sure, yeah. But anyway, so what's happening right now is we're in a block of 7 minutes and 52 seconds that has 2 songs, and then we have a commercial break number 1 of this hour. Notice it has out cue. We have a network spot that's out cue, voice out cold with only as directed. So I'm sure it's like Trident commercial and a Comtrex commercial each 30 seconds. Then it's up to the DJ to do a local insert of 60 seconds. So
And the local DJ doesn't say anything.
Well, yeah, he just pops in a cartridge that says, whatever your local Chevy dealer is. But let's see how that local insert works, because you have to be really quick. Like my little queuing thing here on this consumer turntable just takes a second or two to come up. I'm sure they had like a slip queue or something really cool at the station. But let's jump ahead past Space Age Love Song and What About Me and go to the sort of the network spot, and we're going to be looking for Only As Directed. And then when you hear that, flip the switch over.
Casey's Coast to Coast. Trident's got news, big news. Trident's big news.
So now there's a Trident gum commercial, and then you're going to hear contracts, and then as soon as it says use only as directed, see if you can
Is that
stop.
a medicine commercial?
Yeah, see if you can stop it.
Tastier cinnamon, tastier fruit.
Tastier chews. Big news, big news.
And 4 out of 5 dentists surveyed recommend sugarless gum for their patients who chew gum.
The big news is tastier chews.
New Trident.
More great taste than ever before.
I promised myself this year it wouldn't happen again.
Contracts. It relieves the whole cold. Use only as directed.
All right, perfect. See, you got a little bit. You could be an 80s radio DJ. Okay, then you pop in your local commercial. Now you restart the countdown. And we're back.
Once a week with AT40, and you know how your favorite songs are doing across the U.S.
So now we're on
the
to
first top 40
Shock
hit
the
by
Monkey.
Peter Gabriel. Moving up a notch to number 29, it's Shock the Monkey.
Anyway, I think this A is ASCAP and B is BMI. Those are the rights of these things. And then some of them have don't have anything. Hungry Like the Wolf is not known yet. Yeah.
Maybe
Anyway,
instead of American Top 40, there should be top YouTube videos. They
All right.
should make that show.
sure. So I really enjoyed listening to this 1983 countdown again. There were a couple of interesting, funny things in here. For example, number 37, Billie Jean debuts, and it would go on to be number 2 for the entire year, but it's sort of described as the follow-up to The Girl Is Mine. It's also interesting to hear the advertising. There's a search commercial that's done from both a male and a female perspective that's the same plot, basically. And at 2 places on the record, the American Top 40 theme just goes on for a long time, which I don't even remember hearing that as a kid because the DJ, I think, would just fade it out. Moving on to the 1987 record, I didn't realize at the time, but this week, Casey was actually on vacation, and he was replaced by Charlie Van Dyke.
I'm Charlie Van Dyke, sitting in for Casey Kasem, who's on vacation this week. So here I am looking at the latest Billboard chart.
There were a couple of interesting things about this record, though. One thing on the 87 record, not on the 83 record, are what's called topical promotions, or topical promos. So I guess they could dub these off to tape or cartridges and use them to promote the countdown during the week. Another interesting thing about this countdown, there is a memo in the paperwork telling the DJ how to bypass a George Michael song in case it's too controversial for your town or something. Another interesting thing about the 87 record is the ads. There's this one ad that's like, usually the ads are light and cheery, but there's this one ad that basically says if you do not watch this TV show, you're going to die.
It won't hurt you to watch it. Might hurt you if you don't. The National AIDS Awareness Test is on this Tuesday night. Check for time and channel. Then tune in. I will. Because I'm 17 years old, and I don't want to die of AIDS.
Feeling good about yourself. Feeling carefree. Nabisco.
They finished first, second, and third at Daytona. They won Europe's Endurance Championship 5 straight times. Now, the legend builds and becomes the CB 1100F. Get behind the fairing. Turn the throttle. The 1100F. Ride your own legend.
Follow the leader. He's on a Honda.
In the past 3 years, he's become famous as John Cougar. But now he wants to be known by his real name, John Mellencamp.
Waiting.
Seems like forever before a pimple goes away.
Help minimize the weight. Cause Clearasil's been micronized. Works fast.
Micronized.
For the third week in a row, the most popular song in the land, #1, is by Men at Work, Down Under.
So with the countdown ending, it's time to bring this video to an end with a couple more random facts. One is Casey Kasem was really popular. So popular, he had a parody skit on SNL and on the Ben Stiller show, and he had to record all these radio station promos. So there's a lot of stuff with some hilarious outtakes that have been leaked to the internet over the years.
The countdown will begin this Saturday morning at 9 and again Sunday morning at 9 right here on Maine's most listened to radio station, I'm not going to say all that. How do I know they're the most listened to station?
Oh, and take their word for it. Okay, drop it out and just say right here on...
No, you know what I'm saying?
Another thing about this video is obtaining these records at a reasonable price was not easy. They frequently sell on eBay for well over $100 a set. So recently there were 49 sets that were available starting at $5 and $6 on Goodwill.com. But there was a lot of auction sniping and they got really expensive. The price of this 1983 set that I won doubled in the last 5 seconds of the auction. And the only way I got it I got it for $36 because I watched who was sniping and basically just went a little bit above their maximum price. Now the 1987 set was a lot cheaper. Probably wouldn't have bought that had I realized it was a guest host. But if you found it fun to watch, please give it a like and take a look at our channel, ACB Memphis, to see if the other content is worth subscribing for you. Anyway, thanks, and that's about it.
And we'll see you next time for another awesome video.
And remember, until next time.
Till then, keep your feet in the ground and keep reaching for the stars.
American Top 40 has been brought to you in part by Trident and by Xena Jeans. Xena Jeans, for the American way of life.